Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm so happy to have back on again Dorsten. They've just
Yeah,
released a fantastic new track. It's called Hush, and I'm very excited to talk to them all about it. Sophie and Alex, what's up? How are you doing?
doing great.
Doing so great. It's been a great day so
Yeah,
far.
thank you
Braving the
so much.
Phoenix heat.
Yes.
Surviving
Yeah.
somehow.
Surviving, that is the correct word of choice, actually. Well, it hasn't stopped you from making good music. Before we started this, I was saying that I've listened to the song many times. It's so good. And I'm not just saying that. It's truly one of those songs that like once it finished, I had to go for another spin because there was so much happening in it. And I think that we'll get into it in terms of like your guys' roles. And I know we've talked about that before, but um, I guess let's talk about what the song is about. What inspired the lyricism here?
Yeah, the song it's a little bit of a darker meaning I feel like than our past songs as far as like a little bit more on the sad side, but it's about like a relationship between two people where like the person feels like they are just blind in how they love. And it was just, I think it's just about a toxic relationship and how they were just blind in love and thinking they were in love, and how the other person was just treating them poorly and how toxic it was, and kind of just talking about that. So that's what the song is about. It's not something that I've experienced that I was writing about. It was just kind of
Sure.
like a scenario that I was creating because I know there is some people that go through that, but yeah, that's what the song is about.
Nice. Well, listen, I don't want to downplay your instrumentation, Alex. We will talk about that, but Sophie, your vocals on this song are actually mind-blowingly
Oh,
amazing. And
thank you.
that's not, you're very welcome. That's not to downplay the rest of your discography, because I find that from your other tracks, there's a lot of songs that not necessarily even out, but kind of just play around with maybe less vocals, more instrumentation, blah, blah, blah. This
Yeah.
is like 70-30 you, Sophie.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I find that the instrumentation, it lends itself to kind of creating the emotion and depth in the actual song. So, Alex, I want to start with you here. How do you actually go about, I guess, creating the blueprints for the music? Is it her that starts singing and you fill in the gaps, or I mean, yeah, what's the process?
Yeah, and well, so for this song, it's very different than a lot of our previous stuff, and it
Right.
has a lot of dark aspects. And what was so how we started writing the song initially was really I would play like a little guitar line, and then
And
she
I
would
just start
start
singing.
singing, and we kind of come up with like a melody with a
Nice.
guitar. I'm like, that's cool. Then we run it into a chorus, and then we're like, that chorus sounds weird. Let's switch the chords, and
Sure.
Yeah.
let's do it like this. And so, really, in the song, one of the giant focal points is the pre-chorus where everything kind of drops out and there's just
Yeah.
one guitar, and Sophie's voice has like no effects on it, and it's just like right there, and you can like it sounds like it's like right in your ear, and so going and creating it, it's really coming down to you know, we have the original version where it's just me playing the guitar and her singing. And then I'm expanding on the thoughts of like, well, how could I make this a little bit darker without impeding her voice? Because,
Yeah.
uh, and learning just from, doing our own stuff in the studio all the time, you're kind of learning about how you make a song and then all of a sudden you're like, I can't really tell what the vocals are saying because you start putting guitars right in that same
Hmm.
frequency range.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so we've gotten a bit better at it as of recently, and so then from there it just kind of lends itself to being, well, how can we put a bunch of really cool stuff into the song without
Taking away
taking
what's
away
already there.
the powering
Yeah.
Yeah.
within the vocals and adding to the emotion of it? And so the song was a really good culmination of all that.
I could not agree more. And it's funny because I find that a lot of the conversations that I have, it's like, yeah, let's talk about the meaning and the guitars and the whatever, but like I don't often get to talk about the mixing of things. And the mixing on the song is basically everything that you just said. It's so important to not overcrowd what's going on because again, like Sophie, it's a very vocal forward song. The way that you hear it, it shows up at the certain times, things drop out, you come in and do your thing, but it never overcrowds or kind of overstimulates in a way. And I don't know. I think that it's such an underrepresented thing. And especially because like 99% of people that listen to music don't even know what the word mixing is.
Yeah.
But on a level, they appreciate it because without it, you might, cluster things up and then it loses its whole meaning. Um, so with that long rant over, how does it work in terms of like the final end of things in the studio? Like I know that you're
Yeah.
working with a team on the final touches, right?
No,
No, it's
it's
just
just me and
us.
her.
You two are doing the mixing and the production, it
Yeah,
looks like.
he
Start to
does all the
finish.
production. Like we'll come in and
Every
everything
instrument,
is
every instrument is us. All the mixing is us. All the
mastering
mastering is us.
from start to finish. It's all us.
Yeah, there's
That
not even
is
another person.
I'm speechless. That's incredible.
We
Because
have a
no,
few
really
friends that
though.
we send the song to, and
We'll be like, "What's
they're
your
like, I
advice,
feel like I'm missing something. What do you hear? And it's just friends of ours. They're not mixing professionals or musicians necessarily. They just
Sure.
love
listening
listening to
to?"
music.
Yeah,
And so I have buddies that will just tell me like really weird things and like, in this section, it sounds like it's a little bit more of a fried egg. And you're just like, what? And you're just like, it sounds like it's like sizzling a little too much in this thing. You're like, I don't know what that means. But then you kind of start trying to like equate it, and you're like, oh, I think I'm hearing something that they're hearing because they're listening to the full song. And the problem is when you're so close to it and you're
hmm
writing every aspect of it, it's like I feel like you're gonna miss these little
hmm
things of like, oh, I did leave a bunch of these weird high frequencies that are just frying in the
Yeah.
background.
yeah. Or
Well,
then
that's
sometimes
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll just come in and he's like mixing for a while, and then I'm like, "Oh, did you hear this?" He's like, "Oh, I had no idea," because I've been just
Right.
focused on this or this, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that no one is ever going to fully grasp is that no one has heard your music as much as you have. And when you're
yeah,
so close to the situation, day in, day out, literally spending hours in front of a computer trying to be the perfectionist that you are, it's so easy that your brain just kind of turns off and you're not hearing those things. Maybe your friends are helpful in the terms that they're
Very.
throwing out, but I think at the same I think at the same time, like with all that being said, it's so important to have a non-biased person who's gonna not just be another yes man and be like, yeah, that sounds great. On to the next one. Like
yeah,
you need
Yeah.
those people in your life that are gonna be honest and do the thing and say, like, yeah, this sucks. Like I don't like it. There's something wrong here. And I think it helps with the final result, especially like as independent artists when your name is on it and you don't have like these massive corporations behind you. It's just you guys doing your thing. It's so incredible.
thank you."
Thank you. Yeah,
Amazing.
it's
How yeah,
it can be a tough process sometimes too when you're that close to it and you add all these cool aspects to the song.
right.
And then you go and like you were saying earlier, and then you're like, this is overcrowded.
hmm
And then you have to be okay to be like, it's time to cut this part out. We loved it. It was a cool idea while we had it, but
Yeah.
now it's time to remove it because it's just too
Too
much.
much.
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, just I can't get over the fact that you guys actually handle everything. It's so impressive. I think that especially nowadays where it's like okay, you're a musician, but you're also a full-time content creator trying to get the thing out. And then
Yep.
you have to learn what to do and do the singing. And then I think production is like essentially like learning a new language. And you have to be fluent in that. So for you guys to do it all is like that's all the reason in the world to like follow you as a band and enjoy the music that you're making. Just so awesome. Um, and so I do want to go back to one thing you said, though. One of the things was that this song is sonically different than everything that you've made. Was that a conscious decision to go forward with something different, or did it just kind of happen out of a jam?
Um,
I feel like we've had some songs that are, like more sad or darker in the past, but
Sure.
I feel like this is just kind of like going on to that side of our music more, you know, and kind of just exaggerating on it more because I think like our past, you know, songs as of recently are just very happy and in love songs, and so it's kind
Yeah,
of like let's change it up a little bit. And I think this song is just like that side of us where it's just like the dramatic, you know, like dark folk, you know. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really, it's tough to have guitars in a song and you're trying to make them seem darker. And we were just messing around for a while, just trying to like, how do we make these guitars not sound exciting and they fit the sad, dark vibe that we're putting into the song? And
sure,
so, what pieces do we need to like push around it in order to make this thing feel very different? And
Mm-hmm.
because obviously the guitars are very much the baseline of the instrumentation of the song. So,
sure.
um, yeah, that's kind of how it's
That
just
makes
super.
sense. But I think it also challenges you two as musicians to switch things up, try new things without forcing it at a point. Because I think a lot of people feel pressured to like, oh, maybe this wasn't working, or hey, we just want to, I don't know, do something new for the hell of it. But the fact that it seemed organic for the most part is a very telling thing for you two. And another thing, we don't need to spend too much time on this, but I do feel that it needs to be brought up. And we talked about it last time, which was like 2 years ago. But for anyone that doesn't know, you guys are a brother sister relationship. And I know that that must come with its own pros and cons. I think that you can probably be very honest with each other. It's not like I mean, I've talked to a lot of husband wife singer songwriter duos, and I can always weirdly feel the tension, not to call anyone out. But it's like, it's like you're making music and then you hear their kid crying from the other room, and then that brings its own thing, but you live your own separate lives. Has the relationship only grown since you've started this project?
Yeah, I mean, we've become better siblings to each other. And I think, the other thing is too, is we're kind of becoming good. We're learning how to also become good like business partners
Partners,
and
yeah.
Yeah,
people who work together really
Hmm.
well. Because it's easy to think, oh, it's my sister and we can
I
just
can say
kind of
whatever I want.
we can just bully each other, but
right.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Well, that's part of the
Yeah.
process.
that's part of the fun, only on
And,
Tuesdays, but
and
yeah.
with the honest thing, with the honest thing, it is very like, you know, it's like, yeah, I can be very honest with each other. I feel like more
Yeah.
than people can, which has its pros and cons.
No, I agree. Again, and it's not like obviously not a romantic relationship where it's like, well, yeah, we're still married, so like I need to be like
Mhm.
nice to you. Not that you shouldn't be, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like, any sibling relationship is going to be, no matter if you're close or not, you can always have those honest conversations. And the fact that you're growing stronger, and obviously you're still doing this years later, so things are going well. Like hats off to you because it's such an amazing thing.
Thank you.
Um, and then yeah, you've been touring a lot and you've been playing a bunch of shows, which has to come with its own set of pros and cons in terms of like touring is stressful and it's exhausting, but at the end of the day, it's incredibly rewarding. What did this summer look like for you and it like that?
Yeah, touring, it was so much fun. We love when we tour. Um, I feel like last year we got a lot of experience on tour, and I don't like it's just like you're living in the moment. I don't really find a lot of cons in touring other than getting sick, and that sucks. But um that's like the only
Yeah,
thing for me. It's like when I get sick, it's like, oh man, you know, because it's, you know, every day or every other, whatever it is. So,
absolutely.
but this past summer we went to Canada and we did a tour up there. We went to back to Europe and we did a tour over there. We played at Summerfest, which was pretty
Sweet.
cool, and we did some other little festivals around the U.S. And yeah, it's been a lot
Nice.
of fun. Yeah.
All right, so then I have to know, what is the difference between a US and European audience?
Man, the Europeans are loud, man. They're great.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
They're
Where did you
awesome.
play?
Yeah, the Europeans, they can learn a chorus pretty quickly, and then they'll start singing it back to you by the end of the set,
Mhm.
which is pretty dope.
Yeah,
Um,
that's amazing.
yeah, it's awesome. And in the U.S., all the crowds have been nothing but awesome. But in Europe, they definitely seem very excited
Mhm.
that we're there because we
We're
are
from
the
here.
out of
Yeah.
towners, right? And
That
so they're
makes
like,
sense.
"This is so
Yeah.
cool." Whereas if it's like, "Yeah, we're from down the street," they're like, "Okay."
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll see you next week then, I guess.
Yeah.
No, honestly, though, I really think it's because being in the US, we are so spoiled with the amount of tours that we get from artists all over the world. Like there's artists that literally don't even play their own countries because it's not profitable for them. They come to US because they can charge an arm and a leg for a ticket and they know you're going to buy the $50 t-shirt. Whereas in Europe, maybe not going to do that. So maybe they're just more thankful that you're there and they're more into the set. Who knows? But
Yeah.
all the reason to tour everywhere to form your own opinions, I suppose. Very
Yeah.
cool. So this song is releasing. I mean, we're recording this before it's out, but it's releasing in the next few weeks, which brings us to October, which is essentially the end of the year. Is there any other plan for the end of the year? Or are you guys taking it easy till 26?
I
I
think,
think there's one more song to
yeah.
release. That's going to probably be a week or two into November.
Mhm.
Nice.
So
Okay.
it'll be a quick one right there towards the end. Because once you start reaching into that Christmas time, it's kind of like,
Yeah. Worst
hey,
Iffy
time.
here's
on releasing then,
If
yeah.
you're not putting out a Christmas album, then you can just take a back
yeah,
seat.
yeah. Here's
Honestly,
the
it's the worst
Christmas
time to release
music.
music.
Look.
Nice. And then you don't have to say too much, but any big plans to kick off the new year?
I don't know if we have like anything set in stone yet, but
For next year, there's one thing that is we don't know the date, but
oh
it's
yeah.
set and it's really fun. So our last name is Dorsten. Our band name is
Sure.
Dorsten.
Yeah.
There's a town in Germany called Dorsten, and the town in Germany
Awesome. That's
is
awesome.
We played there.
the town in Germany
Did
is
you?
so
Oh my
sick.
God.
Yes. The when we were on our first tour in 2024, we hit up the Burgermeister, which is
The
mayor,
mayor.
but they're
Cool.
called Burgermeisters. So we hit him up and we said, "Hey man, our last name's Dorsten. Our band name is Dorsten. You're the mayor of Dorsten.
In 3 days we're gonna be visiting your town.
Can we play a show?" And he goes, "Absolutely. I'll get something set up." So in 3 days, they had 450 people of this town show up to an old coal mine where we played a show like in this old coal mine area where all the machines are. It was the
It
coolest
was
thing ever.
crazy.
Everyone showed up.
Oh
Like
my
the whole
God.
town was there.
Yeah.
They loved it. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then they gave us a whole tour of the town. They're like, oh, here's your castle, and we're like, oh, thank you. It feels so at home.
Yeah.
This is definitely our castle. But,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
yeah.
Wait,
And then
that's
we
like the
went back again.
coolest thing ever.
Yeah. And we went back again. And now for 2026, it's their 200 or sorry, 750th anniversary of the town.
And you're
And they
getting
said,
a key to the city,
and
right?
basically,
Yeah.
they
Nice.
said, they said we're going to have the Dorsten Festival. Can Dorsten headline the Dorsten Festival? And we said,
Of
we will
course.
absolutely be there.
Yes.
Yeah,
They
I
said, what time?
mean,
I said, any day. Give us a
yeah,
day.
no,
We'll.
you just let us know. That
Yeah.
is maybe the coolest music related story I've ever heard. That is, I mean, I don't think I ever asked what Dorsten was. I figured it was a last name or something like that.
Yeah.
The fact that there is a German city that now worships you two, that is the coolest thing ever. I mean, you need to have a residency there at this point, like just a
Yeah.
yearly thing. Oh, what's like the closest major city that it's near?
I think Cologne.
Cologne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So it's like
Like
an
an hour.
hour
Incredible.
northwest of Cologne. Yeah.
That is incredible. I've completely lost my train of thought because that's like the coolest thing ever. Truly. Now I wish my last name was like some cool city in like Switzerland or something.
They'll take you in. Just
Yeah,
check
yeah. You know what? I'll
this
look.
record
I'll
real
look.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Google exists. I have a couple more for you. I want to know. So you live obviously two separate lives, but you work together professionally. Do you ever find that the music that you listen to in your free time kind of has influence over the music that you make? Or do you actively try to like push that away to collaborate on new things yourself?
Yeah, I'd say the music that I listen to has a lot of influence in the music I make. I feel like I listen to a lot of different kinds of music relatively, like in, but yeah, I listen to a lot of stuff that I don't know that
That
I
changes
can
the way
relate
it's
to,
written. Yeah.
and yeah, a lot of there's indie rock, there's folk rock, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Slow, I like all of that stuff. But Alex,
For me, it definitely changes. The
yeah,
I listen to a ton of stuff. Funny enough, I listen to a ton of heavy metal. Um, but
same.
I don't know. I don't know. It just happens to be that way. But on this song, what was really cool is there was a lot of these weird aspects that are subtly underneath a bunch of heavy metal music, different little bass drops, how they record sub
Yeah.
basses, and all that stuff. And I've learned how they've mixed certain songs with bass and heavy metal music. It's just random tangent. And so then for this song, I was like, this all makes sense now. I can make, oh, this perfectly works within. So now I'm using
Yeah.
the techniques that I've learned from these metalheads, incorporating it into our dark folk
Awesome.
music, and now
Right.
it's there in the background. There's no heavy guitars, there's no
No,
double
I
bass,
know.
but yeah,
some of the
But it's
yeah
always
take
a learning process. Listen, I
yeah,
think that metal is the closest that you can get to classical music. There's so
yeah.
many similarities between the two, which kind of gives you the opportunity to learn new things. And going back to like the rest of your guys' music, it's definitely like in the realm of folk. But I think that this song in particular, it sort of defies genre. Like there's a lot of different things going on, but it still manages to stay original and fresh sounding without being like, oh, this is a folk song. I don't need to think about it. And
yeah
it comes directly from the instrumentation. Now that you've kind of opened up on that, it all makes sense because like I get it now. So yeah, the metal, I hear it fully.
Yeah.
Uh, and then I guess the last thing here would be like, is there anything about this song that I failed to ask you about that you think is important for people to know?
There's a lot of silence that you're gonna have to cut out.
It's okay. No, it's not getting cut. They're gonna watch you
Um,
think.
I mean, I don't know.
I think people when they listen to the song, they're gonna sit there and they're gonna say, in the second verse, there is this weird screeching noise, and where did that come from? And how did that exist? And I'll say,
It's the
well,
first question. Yeah.
there's a gate to my apartment complex that just squeaks like crazy while we were recording. So I went outside, we actually recorded it,
On our phones.
and then
Love a good field recording.
Yes.
yeah.
And it
So
was the exact same pitch too.
it
I
was the
was
same
like,
key as the
we were
song.
recording it.
Really? Oh man.
That's like that could work.
That's G sharp, and then it was G sharp for sure,
That's
and we
wild.
just threw it in the song. So, I think many people are going to definitely ask questions about that sound specifically.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we've cleared up the controversy and you won't be investigated on it now. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. Some people thought it was Sophie
Beautiful.
screeching in the background. It,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, was a metal gate. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be my actual last question, but we've cleared it up. So we're all good here. Listen, you two, this has been awesome. I love talking to you, especially when the music is as good as it is. Before we wrap up, let me please plug everything for you again. So, if you've made it this far, you know I'm speaking with Dorsten. The song, when this is out, it'll all be out. It's called Hush. We will have the links everywhere so that you can listen and share and follow along and stay tuned. If you're listening to this in Dorsten, Germany, they will be back sometime. So don't freak out. It's going to happen. And thank you so much. This was great. Truly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. All right. Well, I hope you both have an amazing rest of your day. Try not to melt out there, and I hope to speak soon.
Hey,
Awesome. Thank
have a
Awesome.
you.
good
All
one,
right.
also.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
See ya.